Good morning. No, not good morning. Let's restart that. Good evening, everybody, and Hazak Baruch. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Thursday evening, and Chodesh Tov to everybody. 78 degrees and clear, beautiful day. And I want to wish everyone a Chodesh Tov and Vorach. Thank you for joining us for this beautiful Pirkei Avot. As we are studying together today, chapter 5, Mishnah 13. We are in the middle of this Mishnah, and our Mishnah, we are discussing 4 types of personalities or characteristics that exist among people. Okay, and let's just quickly recap them. Mine is mine and yours is yours. Mine is mine and yours is mine. Right? That's no good. A person who wants everything he feels really should be his. And if I could, I would take you what you have. I'm just, I don't want to go to jail, so I'm not. Then there's the Sheli Shelach Veshelach Shelach. Tzaddik. Everything is yours. And finally, Sheli Shelach Veshelach Sheli. Mine is yours and yours is mine. In our last class, we went through the different personalities, explaining each and every one, some a little bit more elaborated, some less. What I would like to do today is to share with you something from the world of Derash. Okay, because we know that there are many ways to understand the Torah. The Torah could be understood on a pshat level. That's what it says. Pshat is what it says, and that's, straightforward understanding. And that's true, and there's a lot to learn on the pshat level. However, we could really learn this on a deeper level. And sometimes we get to see how our rabbis were able to take truths that we know, values that we believe in, and they attach them to the Torah in such a profound and unbelievable way. It's amazing to see how our rabbis found in these statements. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pause for 30 seconds and allow you to use your creativity and try to come up with a valuable idea on these Mishnayot. That's not what it actually says. Again, we're going over here to Drash. It's not the simple, straightforward understanding. Okay? So take 30 seconds. Again, Sheli, Sheli, Veshelach, Shelach. Okay? What could that mean on a deeper level? Sheli, Shelach, Veshelach, Sheli. What could that mean on a deeper level? And finally, Sheli, Sheli, Veshelach, Shelach. Okay, we'll just do those 3 today. And each one is teaching us something very, very important in life. And I'll give you a few seconds to try to take a little bit of a, sorry to make you work. I know maybe you come here to relax and to listen, but it's good to sometimes, use our imaginations and creativity. So here we go. 30 seconds. Da, na, 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 na. Okay, fine. Here we go. Okay, last few seconds, if anybody wants to share their thoughts. Okay, so the idea is like this. You can still type in your answers on the side, feel free. The idea is as follows, okay? Each one has a lesson to be learned. We'll go slowly. Sheli, Shelach, Veshelach, Shelach, okay? We said that the simple understanding is a person that's attitude is what's mine is yours and what's yours is yours. And that's a very beautiful way to live. That's a selfless way to live. That's very big giver, okay? That's a big G, okay? Giver, and that's a tzaddik. We could understand this though on a deeper level as follows. You ask the average person on the street the way the world should be, the way religion should be. And they tell you I have 2 different lives that I live, okay? I have a Torah life and I have a secular life, right? There's the religious part where I keep Shabbat, I put the tefillin, I have a mezuzah, matzah, shofar, Shabbat candles, etc. That's my mitzvot that I keep. And then there's the part of my life that is the secular part. And that's, in between, I got to do some other stuff that is just part of the way the world is. I got to eat, I got to work, I got to sleep, Am I proud of it? No. I wish I could just learn all day, but I can't. I got to do other stuff that's mundane, right? And they have this dichotomy that in their lives that, some parts are religious and some parts are not, right? When I go for a car wash, and I do my oil change and I smell all unbelievable what you find in the car, when you do a car wash. It's crazy, you can find money and treasures and yishtabach shemo. But either way, that's all my secular life. Not to be confused with my spiritual life, What's for God is for God, and all else is for Caesar. Mitzvot belong to Hashem, and the mundane things belong to me. Yeah? Some things are for you, for God, and some things are for me. I don't know if you can see already where he's going with this. And this is not the Torah perspective. The way the Torah views life is not that some parts are for Hashem and some parts are for me. Matter of fact, the pasuk says, "Bechol derachecha," beautiful, da'ehu. In all your ways, you should know him. Bechol derachecha. Not only when you're wearing tefillin, you should know him. Even when you're working, da'ehu. Even when we're sleeping, da'ehu. We should know him. Even when we're eating, sometimes we forget that. It's a beautiful halacha. Every morning, when we put on our shoes, the halacha suggests putting on the right shoe, then the left shoe. But when you tie the left shoe and then tie the right shoe. Now, we know why we put the right shoe first. Because always in Judaism, the right is first. We give preference to the right. So as an example, when I say a bracha on my beautiful Kirkland signature purified water, 236 milliliters, when I say a bracha on this, I hold it with my right hand. Okay, I already said a bracha, so I'm going to drink without a bracha. When I hold my lulav and etrog, I'm holding the 3 in one hand on my right hand, the 3 in the right. When you light Shabbat candles, you should use your right hand, unless, God forbid, you're not strong at all in it, then don't take a chance. But usually, everything with the right hand. So always right, even when you shower, you should shower your right side first. When you put on your clothes, put on the right sleeve first. Okay, always the right first. Like it says, Ki yeminecha peshuta lekabel shavim. Your right hand is extended to receive. Right is chesed. Okay, right is kindness. Left is din. Okay, judgment, strict, tough. Okay, so always right. That's why when we turn the Torah, we turn to the right. Okay, it's interesting actually because the Ashkenazim, they hold their Torah, the Sfaradim, we hold it like this, right? Vezot Torah. The Ashkenazim, when they do Hagbaha, they're actually holding the back to everybody. So when they turn to the right, who sees it first? Not the people on the right. The people on the right see the back of the Torah. The people who see it first is the left, because the Torah is facing the one holding it, right? Imagine you're doing Hagbaha and you're going like this, right? So the one actually, even though they turn to the right, it's people on their left that see it first. Okay, but we always go to the right. But why am I tying my left shoe first? I should tie the right first. And the explanation given by the rabbis is because you actually, when it comes to tying, you actually tie on the left first. What do we tie on the left? The tefillin. Tefillin, for the majority of the people that are righties, the tefillin goes on the left hand. So since you tie on the left, also tie your left shoe first. I remember learning from my Rabbi Prague something very powerful. And he would say, I don't understand, what's the connection? You tie your left tefillin first. Okay, but what's the connection between tefillin and your shoes? They're not connected at all. And my rabbi told me something very beautiful. He said, this point exactly, that many people, unfortunately, they realize and they understand and they appreciate that tefillin is God's domain. That's an area of religion. But my shoes and, my Nikes and my kicks, whatever I choose to wear, my Louboutins, right? Those are for me. And a Jew reminds themselves when they put their shoes on, just like tefillin is holy, so too our shoes and where we walk throughout the day is holy. There is no separate domain, religious and secular. My whole life, that's what it means. That's what it means when people say, you ready? Sometimes you hear this, people say things like, oh yeah, that person, they learn Torah, but Torah is like a subject. I always never understood, what does that mean, Torah is a subject? Some people like to criticize, or certain schools, that they teach Torah as a subject. What do they mean by that? I don't know if it's true, but what do they mean when they say Torah is a subject? It means that Torah has its area, its domain, but it's a subject. It's a part of my life. I have basketball, and I have, sleep and eat, and I have Torah. That's not how a Jew should act. A Jew, Torah is not a subject, Torah is a lifestyle. To learn that everything that I do throughout my day is going to have the koach and the influence of Torah. So as an example, that's called in Hebrew, in one word, lishma. Everything I do should be leshem shamayim. Now, there's two ways to understand this. Everything should be leshem shamayim. The simple understanding is, you're about to go have lunch or dinner, whatever time zone you're in. The simple understanding is that you eat lunch and you have in mind, Hashem, I'm about to go eat lunch. Why? So that I can have energy. Why? So that when my kids come home from school, I can be a good mommy or daddy, so that tonight when I go to shul, I can learn. That's one level of the Shema. That you do everything so that. Why am I eating? So that I have energy. Why am I going to work? So that I can make money. Why? So that I could pay for my kids' yeshiva. Beautiful. So your working is attached to yeshiva, Torah. Why am I going to sleep? So that I could have energy. Why? So that I could go to work. Why? So that I could go my kids to yeshiva. Beautiful. So now your sleeping is part of work, also part of yeshiva. I'm eating. Why? So that I could have energy. Why? So I could go to work. Why? So I could send my kids to yeshiva. Beautiful. So everything, and even if your kids graduate yeshiva, it's not the point, okay? Right? So that I can go do chesed, so that I can go pray, so everything that we do is so that I can go, right? That's one level of lishma. So whatever you're about to do when you hang up from the Zoom, don't think, okay, Torah's over, now back to regular life. No. Torah's over, and now back to Torah. Through eating, through sleeping, through playing basketball, through exercising, through getting a car wash, through mowing your lawn. That's also a mitzvah, to have a clean car. You can't have an ugly car. You can't have, bad grass in front of your house. People will look at these Jews, they're not kept well, they don't care about property. Kiddush Hashem. Everything could be for a mitzvah. Okay, very nice, that's one level. But I once saw something very powerful, maybe even a little bit more powerful than this. And that is, not that I am eating so that I can go learn later on. I am working so that I can send my kids to yeshiva. I am working because working is a mitzvah. Working is what Hashem wants me to do. That is also part of me being a Jew. Eating is part of being a Jew. It's part of life. I eat. And eating itself is holy. That's a very high level. That a person should eat. Right now, you're going to go to Abaita or Barnea or wherever you're going to go, and you're going to bite into that burger or pizza, and you're going to say, I am doing a mitzvah. Not so easy to do. But that's what you're supposed to do. We're supposed to think, I am doing a mitzvah right now. This is part of my avodat Hashem. And very good. Berachot put us in that frame of mind. Berachot do just that. They remind us, this is holy. Eating is holy. Okay? Even though you're not eating holy schnitzel. Okay, I'm sorry, I had to make that joke. But either way, okay? Everything that we do, every action, every activity itself is holy and can be holy. And that's what we need to think when we do a mitzvah. Okay, so anyways, just bringing it back to our Mishnah. The tzaddik, he says, Sheli, Shelach, Veshelach, Shelach. That means there's two parts of our lives. There's the Sheli, the eating, the drinking, the sleeping, the working, the mowing my lawn, doing my car wash, playing basketball, tennis. poker, gambling, right? All the me. And then there's the shelach. Shelach is Torah, mezuzah, tzitzit, Shabbat, kosher. That's shelach. Very nice. Some people say, sheli, sheli, veshelach, shelach. What's mine is mine, and what's yours is yours. That's midah benonit. That's the average person. But a tzaddik understands, sheli, shelach, veshelach, shelach. Not only is tefillin God's, but even things that I do for myself. Even when I sleep, or I eat, or I play sports. Even the shelis of my life are shelach. They really also are for Hashem. And so this way the tzaddik, he transfers every single second of his day. You know how powerful that is? Okay? I'll give you an example. You love to sleep. You sleep for 8 hours a day. Okay? Whatever you do. When you go to sleep, you say Shema. And you just think. Right now, this is part of what Hashem wants from me. Hashem wants me to sleep. This is a mitzvah. This is so that I can have energy. This is part of the way that Hashem created the world, so that people sleep. The goal of life is not to avoid sleep. Sleeping is a mitzvah. And you think that, guess what? You'll be in your dreams and you'll be cashing in. Ding, 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 right? Mitzvot, mitzvot, mitzvot. It's like the jackpot when you're in the arcades and you get the jackpot and the tickets keep coming out. When you go to sleep, I want you to imagine just mitzvot, mitzvot, mitzvot. That's what happens when a person, so in this way, you're not just getting 1 hour of mitzvot a day or 2 hours of mitzvot a day. You're getting 24 hours, 24/7. Every second of your life could be a mitzvah. That's beautiful. Okay, so that's the first creative derash way of understanding the words sheli shelach veshelach shelach. What's mine, I do for Hashem, and what's Hashem's, I do for Hashem. For sure, what's yours is yours. Even the mitzvot I do for you, of course. But even the mundane, the secular aspects of my life, I do it for you, Hashem. Okay, beautiful. That's the first two, okay? So we got the first two. Some people say what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours. That's the average person. But that's not the best. The tzaddik thinks what's mine is yours and what's yours is yours. Everything in my life, I do it for Hashem. Next. Sheli shelach veshelach sheli. Someone who says what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. That's ama'aretz. That's an ignorant person. Okay? Now, again, the simple understanding is that's communism. That's not a way to live. There's no respect of any property. Everyone just owns everything. That's not right. But again, on the derech hadrash, applying the homiletical, on the homiletical level, we have a rule. How much of my life is up to me and how much of my life is up to Hashem? Half. Which half? Which half is up to me, which half is up to Hashem? So most people think my spirituality is up to Hashem and my physicality is up to me. Right? God's a spiritual being. So, my religion, if I'll be religious and if I'll do mitzvot, that's in Hashem's hands. And how much money I make, how strong I'll be, how long I'll live, right? My money, everything like that, that's in my hands. And the funny thing is, it's the exact opposite. Our rabbis say, Hakol bidei shamayim, chutz mirat shamayim. Everything is in the hands of God except for the fear of God. That means anything that's under the category of fear of God, which is our spirituality, our decisions of right and wrong and morality, all these decisions are up to me. So the spiritual part of my life is in my hands. The physical part of my life is in Hashem's hands. That means How much money will I make this year? God already decreed. How long will I live? God already decreed. How healthy I'll be? God already decreed. Now, of course, we must do what's called our due diligence. We must do hishtadlut. We must put in our effort. We have to try our best, 100%. And we're not belittling that. But ultimately, you could try all day long. You will not live longer than however Hashem already allotted for you to live. Right? It's like, you know what I like comparing it to? The piñata. You know a piñata? You cover the guy's eyes. You give him a big baseball bat. And he's trying to break down the piñata, right? And no matter how much you hit it, you could hit all day long. At the end of the day, the candy is there. It's limited. You could try to hit more and more and more. You're not going to get more candy. Right? It's like the same with our physicality. You can try to do whatever you want. At the end of the day, you are going to be as rich as Hashem wants you to be. We're going to be as healthy as Hashem wants us to be. We're going to be living as long as Hashem wants us to live. Not a second more, not a second less. Now again, we have to do our part. We have to do hishtadlut. We have to try our best. We have to try to be responsible. And we go to work. And again, that's all a mitzvah. Remember, the tzaddik knows that that's a mitzvah to go to work. Yeah. But ultimately, to realize that I'm just doing what Hashem wants me to do. And He's going to make me make however much money I'm supposed to make. But when it comes to the mitzvot, that's completely in my hands. Hashem never decreed or decided how religious I'll be, how honest I'll be, how patient I'll be. That's up to me. But the ignorant person, you know what he says? He goes through life saying, Sheli, Shelach, Veshelach, Sheli. He says, what's mine, the physicality, right? Sheli, Shelach. He puts whatever is up to God, he really puts it in his own hands. Veshelach, Sheli. Whatever's up to him, he puts it in God's hands. So the spirituality that's really his, Sheli, that's really him supposed to be focusing on the spirituality. He says, God, you take care of that. You want my kids to be religious? Hashem, you take care of it. Sheli, Shelach. Veshelach, Sheli. And whatever's really God, the money, the physicality, the mundane, we take full responsibility, and it's the exact opposite. It's so funny, you think about a person, we exert so much energy and time into making sure that we are well off physically, and we don't put nearly as much effort into making sure that we are well off spiritually. But really, what's in our hands? In our hands is the spiritual part. That's where we should put majority of our effort and our time. Not in the physical. That's God's domain. And finally, the final thought is the Sheli, Shelach, Sheli, Sheli, Veshelach, Sheli. What does that mean? Everything is mine. And we said that was a wicked mentality. And the way to understand this on the homiletical level, on the derech hadirash, is very powerful. You know, the tzaddik does, everything, he does it for the sake of Hashem. The rasha does the exact opposite. The wicked person, everything he does for himself. And that means that really the rasha does not want to do at all Hashem's desire. He could care less to do what Hashem wants. Everything that he does in his life is for one goal. Self-centered. What can I do for me, for my advantage? How can I get people to like me? How can I get people to respect me? And so making money, people respect you. When you're driving a cool car, people will respect you. When you have a nice house, people will respect you. When you're very, very funny, people respect you. And the Rasha focuses on getting everyone to like him, and he'll do everything possible to get the attention. But what's amazing about the Rasha is even when he does mitzvot, even when he does things that are God's, he's doing it with the intention that it should come back to him. Even the mitzvot that he does is for his own betterment, for his own benefit. He's trying to capitalize and to maximize his own glory through mitzvot. So even when he performs mitzvot, he does it just to show people, look how religious I am, respect me. It's not for ulterior motives. So everything he does is for himself. And that's what the Mishnah says. Sheli, sheli, whatever's physical, I do for me. But even shelach, even the things that are Hashem's, even the mitzvot that he does, sheli, he does it for himself. We have to be very careful to ask ourselves, how sincere are we with the mitzvot? Again, these are very powerful lessons to make sure that sheli shelach v'shelach shelach, everything that we do, both the mundane and the spiritual, to do them for the sake of heaven, to make sure not to fall into the trap of the ignorant person who says sheli shelach v'shelach sheli, not to give to God what's really ours and then to do ourselves what's really his. Make sure we have to do our due diligence. But anything past that, that's Hashem's domain. Let him take care of it. And our spirituality, that's fully up to us. And we should put our maximum effort in that area. And to make sure to definitely stay away from the ways of the Rasha. Not to become so self-centered that even the shelachs, even the mitzvot that we do them just for sheli, for ulterior motives. We'll stop over here. I want to wish everyone again a Chodesh Tov and a Shabbat Shalom. We'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.